Warning, the cytosplatter's show for the next 60 seconds could possibly be a little loud. Adjust your volume accordingly. It's the Mighty Psycho. Yes, it is. It's the Mighty Psycho. Always followed by coffee each and every time. That's right. I was given a megaphone. A nice one for a present. Am I going to use and abuse this? You damn right I'm going to. I'm going to. You wanted to test it out for a minute or two? Would you guys put up with that, the 5 people here? Let's try some things. Everybody out of the water. There is a fucking shark. Cease and disperse. Rob the West is an idiot. You know, my neighbor next door still likes to do the boom, 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 right? So if he ever gets to me, I'm going to go, hey, motherfucker, turn it down. All right, let's see. What else can I do with this? Well, I lost a handful of you already, pussies. Hang on a second. Always powered by coffee, each and every time. And yes, I like Waffle House. I'll admit it. It's all right. This day has been okay. Okay. Get out of the water. Respect, get out of the water. That's right. Shut up. Attention Kmart shoppers. Attention Kmart shoppers. There's a blue light special on slightly used rubbers. 12-pack. Only 59 cents. And don't forget to visit our snack bar where you can get a nice hoagie or grinder, navy beans, navy beans. Yes, I'm 12. Yes. Well, that's why we titled it Hotter Than Hell Figuratively, okay? Because all we know about hell in the Bible is it's so hot down there that even though the guy begs Lazarus to put water on his tongue, it wouldn't cool. Oh, good God. Wait a minute. Attention, Fugler Hardware. Ernie Fugler here. On Mondays, we go and have cookouts where we'll be serving fur burgers. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, fur burgers on Mondays at Fugler's Hardware. You know, Well, look. See, I lost a bunch of you because of this. It's not like I'm going to use it every time. I'm being silly. Anyways, well, no, I was paraphrasing. All right, Mike? I was paraphrasing. Anywho, it is so hot out here. But me, because I'm ugly, the song goes, it's getting hot out here. Everyone except for you. Take off your clothes. See, because then I'd have to add more clothes. I don't know. I can't win. I can't win, ladies and gentlemen. It's all cool. I wish it was all cool. Cool. I wish. You know, maybe it wouldn't be so brutal if we go off and get some wind. But then again, for you people out in California, Survivor even wrote a song about the Santa Ana winds. Those things can be brutal, I'm told. But I'm not in Santa Ana, California, or living anywhere near there. Whew. So 98 degrees here. Not the band. Ugh. I wouldn't want Nick Lachey in my neighborhood hovering around. See what I did there? Anyways, it's just, I'm incorrigible. So the thing is that, let's see here. The weather report from Mike is, 80 degrees from you, 77. See, I wish it was 77. You know, for me, okay, and even what you got there, 80, okay, 70 to 80 for me would be okay. Seriously, 70 to 80 for me would be great. The thing is that whether I lived in Chicagoland, where of course Augusts were brutal, no matter what year, Augusts were brutal. And then come down here and you're actually northwest of me, Paul. Don't give me compass points. I'm confused enough. As opposed to north by northwest, which then that means Cary Grant would be around. See what I did there? Anyways, let's see. Let me guess. Just somebody out there tell me, is there some major broadcast going on? Because Wednesdays usually is pretty good for me. Oh, Tyler's here. Hi.
Hello, Tyler.
I haven't done this in a while. That's what he said. Anyways. Not that I know of, Paul, but I don't follow most of the VC lunatics. Well, I consider myself a VC lunatic. But hey, at least I'm not going to go off and pick on other VCers' children, and I can guarantee you there will be no bukkake music here. See what I did? You figure out who I was talking about. Two different people. Well, look, it's well, hang on a minute. It's
hello, Cap.
I'm going to do this for everybody that comes up. My neighbor's going to be like, what the fuck? Paul, you ought to do a Bart Simpson. Get about 20 of those megaphones right end to end and talk and see how many buildings you can say. Oh my God, that would be funny. You know, I'm going to tell you something. Okay? Normally, I don't talk about people. I really, really don't. Because I don't like stirring the shit pot of drama. But for us people out here on the outside, the peripheral, if you will, the edges of between reality and insanity, I'm not going to mention my source, okay? But there was someone that notified me, a la Messenger, about Stunty's antics in the last, like two or three different videos, and he has just gone way off on the sexual type stuff. And I'm like, no, dude, leave that for your own private stuff. I mean, I throw jokes once in a while, but I'm like, Bukkake? Oh boy. I can't remember the other stuff, nor am I going to tell you. But, so, yeah, I just think that's wrong, honestly. And, you know what, I don't really care what he thinks about it exactly, because I think I only ever interacted with him once on screen, and then I think there was one or two times in the peanut gallery where he was a little snarky, and I caught him on it too. One would assume wherever Stunty lives, all the barbershops have closed. Well, isn't he live in France? I think he lives in France, I thought. The only barbershop that I would want closed in the world is the Barber of Seville, the demon of Fleet Street. Okay, anyways, so let's see here a minute, shall we? I appreciate you guys coming up here. Like I said, I'm half kidding on the busting of the balls here. You know, I just can't get over though how sometimes, you know, I think truthfully, the VC loves its drama. Hey, I tune into certain shows just to see if something's going to happen, so I'm equally guilty, just as much as the people in the peanut gallery and the people that are on screen. But there should be some type of decorum, if you will. All right? I'm not saying, you know, being a kumbaya, you know, and all that junk. Let's face it, not all of us can get along. That'll teach me. Hang on a minute. That'll teach me. See, that'll teach me for trying to be funny. That doesn't matter. Just being klutzy. Oh God, yeah. I'm not gonna do the megaphone. And you see if I can do this. The Barber of Seville. Hello, Barber. Can I take you to the dance instead of Butch? Oh, the little rascals. I need a haircut. A dear friend of mine who, well, fine, she's an ex-girlfriend, is going to go off and give me a trim next week. And I'm going to introduce her to my girlfriend of 6 months. Yeah, 6 months we've been together, last Saturday. You know, you're right. Oh my God, what a strength. And the thing about that is there was updated information about Alfalfa's murder. Yes, murder. Because there was somebody they had to wait until the guy that shot him died. There was another person in the room. So you have Alfalfa. You've got the dude that shot at him. There was another hunting buddy. Now, Alfalfa, at the back end of his life, like the last decade or so, trained hunting dogs. That's what he did. He trained hunting dogs. He was very good at it. So Alfalfa was going to this dude's house. And supposedly, if I remember correctly in the story, this is all alleged because it's coming out of my skull, that Yeah, that's right. That's right. Oh, I know where you're going. That was kind of clever, but you know what I mean. And yes, it is crew cut weather, you know. And when you're getting the crew cut, you're supposed to sing shaboom. Shaboom, shaboom. La. Right. Well, this is what I'm getting to. So Alfalfa goes to go get his money for the hunting dog. Okay. And the guy didn't either have the money or he didn't fork it all out. There was kind of a verbal argument. And then the story goes that the gun accidentally discharged. So the one that's in the story that heard the argument and then the gun going off was the shooter's stepson, who was young, like 10 or 12 years old. And he basically caught the tail end of everything and heard the dad spouting off what he said to the friend of his. And I'm like, uh-oh. So, yeah, it sounds like it was malicious. You get points for that. You get points because that's true. See, because after he did that, you know, then Alfalfa could have had his turn at keeping the eye on the sparrow. See what I did there? Oh boy, I'm surprised I even remember that song. Sammy Davis Jr., if I remember correctly, singing the theme to that. Maybe, but he still could have got him good. But yeah, so a lot of them died tragically, for God's sake. If you guys haven't seen this and you're just curious about it, there is on YouTube, so Tom Snyder, so you're going to have to type in Tom Snyder, Little Rascals interview 1974, because that's when it was made. So you got Spanky, Darla, Buckwheat, and Steiny all in the same room with Tom Snyder. Yeah. I was waiting for that. You get extra points for that. Boy, you're racking them up, buddy. You are. So, but yeah, I mean, it's a really good interview. This is literally like, I want to say, a week before Tom is moving to New York and going to Rockefeller Plaza, and he's going to start the Tomorrow Show, because this is not Tomorrow Show. This is Tom Snyder, LA, KNBC, or whatever the hell it was back then. I don't know about you guys. I didn't mind Tom Snyder. Okay, I actually thought he was pretty good. I liked the interview that he did with John Lennon. I thought that was really, really good, from 75. Kiss, of course, from 79. And Ace's, no, I'm a plumber. When it gets to that way, I'm like, that's great. Yeah, I see what I'm saying. By the way, can everybody hear me pretty good? Because I will say this, I've got the phones connected in here, but I got so excited with Mr. Megaphone. Oh, wait a minute.
Hi, Greg.
Oh, I'm a little kid. I am a almost 56-year-old with a 12-year-old mind. I'm proud of it. I like Tom Snyder whenever I could see him. I was happy because he was on very late. Yes, he was. And sometimes it really was worth it. Did you ever see? No, I didn't know he was on there. I'm going to have to check that out. That'd be some fun. Let's see. Jim Valley on Tom Snyder. Svengali was a strange character. Strange. Very Svengali out there when it came to that kind of stuff. Yeah, yeah, no kidding. You know, Dan Aykroyd did a really good imitation on Saturday Night Live of. So watching him, yeah, exactly, yeah. I mean, if it wasn't for like Tomorrow's Show, you turn the channel and like get Midnight Special that late, or ABC's In Concert. You could have a blast on the weekends, especially too. Especially in your area if you had an old horror host. I said horror. Great grand. That's funny. So, you know, seriously, I'm having some issues right now. I really am still. I mean, we're talking besides this. I'm really only saying this just to tell you, okay, that's all. I'm still not back to work yet. And it's not because of me. It really isn't. This isn't going to be a sob story. I'm just going to tell you the truth. For some reason, one of the doctors at the orthopedic place stuck that I only could lift 10 pounds instead of the 25 pounds, which is required to be a cashier, which is my secondary job code at Wally World. Well, I worked for 2 weeks since coming back from having to have this. They yanked me off the damn schedule. And so I'm sitting here, I'm sweating it, guys, money-wise. Sweating it. I have to be back to work. I have to. You guys know how that is if you've ever had to be downtime due to an injury or maybe even a layoff or something, okay? I can't stand this, and I need to pay the bills. I do not live a rich, extravagant lifestyle. I do not. I never have, guys. Never. Yeah, see, Tom was great. So I'm trying to be very responsible. The records I'm going to show you, I only paid $2 total because some of these came in a trade. Because when I've been having to, I'm not going to lie to you, 11 people out there, I've been having to sell parts of my record collection. Okay, I've been having to do this now on and off for a year because, I mean, okay, is it my fault? Not much. The percentage of fault here is very low. I'm living here in a 2-bedroom apartment. I love my apartment. Most of the time it's quiet unless Mr. Disco goes kaboom, boom, 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 boom. But I have put in paperwork for other places, cheaper places, hopefully, okay? But like everybody else, and probably your side of the world, wherever you're at, there's wait lists. So I'm kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. Now, I love my girlfriend, okay? We've been together 6 months. Now, I'm going to see what happens over the next 6 months. Get my drift? We shall see what happens. But there's some extenuating circumstances as to why I'm not holding my breath, if you will. Part of what I liked about Snyder was he really was a bit quirky. And exactly. He was quirky, and that's the reason why I was interested. You knew that he would have his questions, but he allowed his guests to talk. So, what a song, right? Maybe. I guess I'm not rushing into this. What I'm saying is it's going to be a long engagement if it happens. It has to be for multiple reasons, and I know that's not the best answer, but that it probably, like I said, we'll see. You know, I'm in no hurry, and 6 months from now, for example, is January 2024. So we shall see. Yes. I'm not. You know what, Mike? I don't really have a reason to rush. Okay, unless we're listening to Rush. Snap at the bass. If you get that joke, that's great. If you don't, I can't remember the name of that damn. It had to do with like there was this very big bromance, not a gay thing, but just two guys that were really like almost joined at the hip because they were having so much fun together. And one of them loved Rush very much. They both did, and he'd be like slapping the bass, and the girlfriend was like, "Why are you playing the bass so high, like up around his boobs?" Oh, jeez. I don't really like doing that. I've done it. I don't know whoever came up with the system of relationships and marriage and things like that. But saying that, I have a friend like that, but he's in Connecticut, and I'm in Tennessee, so I only see him maybe once a year. I really want to go back to Chicagoland. I miss my mother. My mom still lives up there, okay, guys? And she's going to be 78 in November. 78. And she's the last one. Dad's passed on. Sister's passed on. Grandma passed on. All the aunts and uncles, except for evil Uncle Jim. We don't know what happened to evil Uncle Jim. He may be alive, he may be dead. I don't know. I know. I want to. And you know what's funny is my girlfriend has offered for me, because she just got a almost new car, that me and her possibly, but I can't do it before the knee surgery. So it would have to be after my knee surgery and after I'm healed up. So unfortunately, the way Chicago winters are, because you're looking at after rehab, it'd be mid-November, and the snow can start in Chicagoland as early as around Halloween. I've seen it done. But so the thing is that I'm probably going to maybe shoot for the spring. I know, I really wanted to go this year, but I just don't think it's going to happen. My dad was the oldest of 10. The youngest brother was born the same year Mom and Dad got married. My grandma was one of 14 kids. 14 kids. That's crazy. See? Yeah. I mean, when they get up into the 80s numbers, you know, that's when you gotta go and, oh yeah. I apologize. I'm such a lousy host.
Hello, Jeffrey.
It's the G-Mon. I know, I'm nuts. I'm probably sort of, you know what, I tried actually to get into Elgin Mental, and they wouldn't take me. They said I was not crazy enough. That was back in the 80s. True story.
Man, please put the pepper spray down.
You know, I think my friends, you know, I can't believe they gave me that. Now, I got to tell you where the bullhorn came from. The bullhorn, actually, do you remember last stream that I did that I showed you guys the signed Emmylou Harris CD booklet? Remember that? And if you didn't, go back and look. It's a nice autograph. My name ain't Tamra, but hey, it's an autograph. So here's the thing. they left a bunch of stuff, antique furniture, old books, okay? The Emmylou Harris was in the drawer of the, it had one of those, it was old wood, but it had like a base and it would go up like this. It was curved, like a curved mirror. Everything was still intact on that thing. And the bullhorn was there too. Now, all this stuff was out in the driveway. It wasn't near the curb, it was on the driveway. And I let, because Donna Jo Cat Lady, my executive producer and my Arkansas bestie, she lived 3 doors down, not from the band, but 3 doors down from the dude that had the stuff at the driveway. And so basically, he was cleaning out whatever was left in the house and said, take what you want. Believe it or not, they did. They ended up finding some good treasures, and one of them was a bullhorn. Oh no. What? This makes me nervous, guys. My buddy, we'll call it a, oh boy, here we go.
Newsflash.
Demi Lovato and Alice Cooper have co-wrote a song together. Future duet coming soon. This makes me a little nervous. True story, just came on the pipe. And Nita Strauss mentioned it, by the way. Also, Mike, you're going to like this. Here's the picture. But look who it is. It's Groucho with Alice Cooper. What a strange pair friendship. So this is under Weird Hollywood, it says. Demi Lovato, she's a pop singer.
Hey Mom, can you make me a tuna fish sandwich and grape soda? Thank you.
Okay, so it says Groucho Marx suffered from severe insomnia. When he couldn't sleep, Groucho would call his Beverly Hills neighbor Alice Cooper and ask him to come over and join him. Alice would bring over a 6-pack of beer, and Groucho and him would drink the beer and watch old movies on TV till Groucho nodded off. See? You never know what you're going to learn on this show. I would have loved to have met Groucho, seriously. Yes, there is. Yes, there is. That's right.
Mrs. Gregman, please put the rat poison down. Please put the rat poison down. Mr. Dabalina, Mr. Bob Dabalina, please report to the white courtesy phone.
Oh, so, Dave, I wrote to Salvador Dali when I was a kid, asking for an autograph. I wrote to him, and I wrote to Marc Chagall. Neither one of them sent anything to me. How rude, as what's her name from Full House would say.
Brothers and sisters, please have some of the brown Kool-Aid. Drink the brown Kool-Aid or we will shoot you. And don't forget, die with dignity.
I know, Jim Jones shouldn't be funny, but in this case it is. Now I can see it like on Tomorrow, everybody's going to be going, did you see that fucker Psycho? He had a bullhorn and he kept doing all kinds of shit. Hey, do you think I ought to bring the bullhorn to you know where tomorrow and not tell anybody? You know what? You're right, but here's the thing, right? Okay, so I brought this same joke up in Paulcast once, and also in Rage's show, because they were talking about toy play sets from the 70s. And I went off, and somebody, I think, was it Spalding? Are you still in the room, Cap? Are you still in the room, or did you leave already? Because I think Cap chimed in and said something about a Charlie Manson playset. And I said, that's easy to get. I said, the bitch that was real hard to get, which was a Montgomery Ward exclusive, was the 972-piece Jim Jones Guyana playset. Brown Kool-Aid drink mix included. I'm horrible. I am horrible.
Yes, you do. That's right. Get it right, because for a megaphone, then you could be Rudy Valley.
Or Tony Randall. Take your pick. The Jim Jones. Let me see if I can do this a second here. Be the first kid on your block to have the Jim Jones Guyana playset, 972 pieces, a Montgomery Ward exclusive, including the brown Kool-Aid drink mix, so you too can also experience what they experienced too. Don't tell your parents. Order the Guyana playset today. Only $999. Hey, drop in the comments, like, if you order in the next 20 minutes, what should the prize be? Can I have that book, Chaos, by Tom Johnson? Oh, Cap, I have that book, Chaos, by Tom Johnson. Have you read that yet? That's awful. Yes, it is. It is very awful. Tom O'Neill, rather. As opposed to, not to be confused with Tip O'Neill, which we will not get into that today. Tip he tipped him all right. He did. Wait a minute. Attack vehicles and machine guns sold separately from Whammo. Whammo. Oh God, Whammo would get such a. Coming soon, the Richard Speck. Okay, all right. Coming soon, the John Wayne Gacy bass. No, okay. Oh God, I'm so horrible. It's great flavor, Aid. I'm just horrible. Oh yeah. Every boy wants a Remco toy, and so do girls. You know what I'll tell you what I sing once in a while. Well, there's a radio station that plays old ads.
Up downstairs, alone and in pairs, it makes a stinkity sound. Everyone knows it's stinky. It's stinky, it's stinky. Na, 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 na. I forgot the fucking words. It's stinky, stinky. Fun for a girl and a boy. It's fun for a girl and a boy. Stinky, sold separately by Hasbro.
You know, Donna's probably watching this, and she's like probably going, oh my God, we should have never given him the bullhorn. By the way, I've got a fancy pants. Breaker 19, put the rubber ducky's calling you. Better put the hammer down. We got a great big convoy rocking through the night. We got a great big convoy. True story. When I in the in the 80s? No, the 80s. I did have a K40 big antenna whip on my 71 Impala, sea green color, by the way, because everybody's like, oh god. But in the 90s, I also kept doing it too. Thank you for shopping Figuratively Hardware. Do me something. You get free hot dogs today. How about this? Buy something. I love Bob and Tom. They used to be so good. They ain't now. I miss the old days. Scrotum. It's just a bag of skin. Anyways. I'm sorry. I apologize. I have to. If my fans ask, oh boy.
Shit, hang on then. Thank you for shopping Figuratively Hardware. Do me something. You get free hot dogs today. How about this? Buy something. And thank you for shopping at Figuratively.
I know. I hate to say this. I think Bob was the genius of the two. That's right. The scrotum. See, I got to get a ukulele. Would you guys like to? I don't even know how to play, but I'd be like, I could go for a tiny. That's it. I could be a new Tiny Tim cover band. Tiptoe through the window. Anyways. Okay, hold on. Maybe I can do this. I'm not sure. Always part of the coffee each and every time. Scrotum. It's a wrinkly, crinkly bag of skin. And we're off to the rodeo. No. Oh God, that would be something. I gotta think about this a second. Hang on. Black hole, son, won't you come? K-Hell's greatest hits. It's Tiny Tim sings the contemporary hits. We're off to see the wizard. What if the Wizard of Oz? I've lost half my audience. It wasn't even the boy that did it. It was the Tiny Tim. I was doing the Tiny Tim and I lost half my audience. You Tiny Tim haters, the ones that left. I gotta tell you though, seriously, he actually, I wouldn't have known anything about this, and I tried to look it up on YouTube, but, and it wasn't a joke, by the way, it was, he cut a single due to the fuel, it was like 7980, I think, Make Me Laugh, Make Me Laugh, with Bobby Van, oh my God, that was great, but Tiny Tim actually was the celebrity that they tried to make him laugh one time. And I guess there was a 45 he did something about tiptoe through the gas pumps because of the energy crisis going on. But, I love that show. Let's see, I'm trying to think. Tiny Tim was on there. Frank Zappa was on there. He didn't laugh once. Not once. He was so stoic. I'm like, oh boy, does he have a sense of humor? Although I will admit, most of the jokes were not really they were pretty cheesy. Just after he got done doing Tiptoe Through the Tulips, he left off stage and then died So yeah, he just like got up and died. How weird. Yeah, that was brutal back in 73, 74. That was a nightmare. I barely remember that because my evil Uncle Jim was co-manager of a gas station, a Clark gas station, if you remember that brand, ladies and gentlemen. But also at that time, like silver was like ridiculously, it shot through the roof for the price per ounce. And so they came up with this very weird trade system, like you gave them silver coins and it equaled this amount of gas. It was kind of strange, but you know they made a small killing that month or two that they had to deal with that. Yeah, pretty much. Okay, let me get some more coffee. I wish I had like put on hold music, but I don't. So just give me a minute here, and then I'll show you the records I picked up today. How about that? Because I mean, this is supposed to be kind of a vinyl show, you know, or at least music related. And I mean, we have been talking about music. Yes, we have, but. You know, I mean, we talked about Tiny Tim, and we talked about Alice Cooper, and we talked about Demi Lovato and Nita Strauss, and everybody's still talking about that Beatles song, that new one. I'm like, just put the damn thing out already. I'm tired of hearing about it. I'm gonna buy it anyway. Yeah, well, yeah, QDL, I wish I had. Yep, that was nuts. That was completely nuts. I heard he was left in an overhead story. Oh, boy. Actually, wasn't that Billy Barty? Very long lines. Ridiculously long lines. The gas station was about a block from my house, seriously. And near a major... well, I don't know if you want to call it a highway. I guess it was in a way. But yeah, I mean, the line, oh my, and the way that the gas station was positioned was pretty strange. But yeah, I mean, there was a line from the gas station to the intersections at times. I was like, jeez. Yeah. All right, so... Right. That was kind of, I think, where we were at too. I remember that. And I don't know. I hope we never have to play that game again. I ain't in the mood for that nonsense. So, okay. So, like I said, to the 7 people, I appreciate you guys being here. I had up to 15 of you guys for a little bit until I did the Tiny Tim impression. And Mr. Bullhorn here. But I ended up selling a box of records, like I said. You know, that's the one thing, you know, I cull through the collection and I'm like, can I live without this? You know, I already listened to this. This was okay, you know. And I mean, and like I said, I got to move probably, I don't know when exactly yet, but less for me to have to lug. You should have seen when I left Capron, Illinois. That's where I lived, near Rockford. And I had 30 liquor boxes. You can put about 50 to 60 albums in a liquor box. When I was putting them all together, I had 30 boxes. So that would be what? Anywhere from 1,500 to 1,800 albums. That's what I had. God knows how many 45s. I had more, but unfortunately something happened to some of them. So, that's right. Yeah, I'd say about from 1,500 to 1,800 albums is what I had up in Capron. And I said to myself, my God, so I could not take them all with me right away. There was no way. I was, thankfully enough, I had a minivan. I did. But I had to have other things to go there, microwave, this, that. I ended up in a old motel room, a former motel room for about 2 months. And obviously I couldn't bring all of this stuff there, so I had put most of it in a storage facility, but I was very careful, you know. I actually found a shady section and I stuck all that stuff in there. And that helped because, oh boy. So I only took about maybe 4 to 5 boxes down with me. Now, saying that, when I got my friends, Scott and Tim, I think somebody else too, and I said, here's the 15 boxes I'm not bringing with me. Have at it. Take what you want. Seriously, that's what I did. And they ended up taking, I'm not kidding you, between the 3 of them, a dozen of the 15 boxes. Okay, so they went and took about, I don't know, 600 albums? Yeah, 600 albums between the 3 of them. Like, here, I can't take them. And then there was going to be a churchyard sale. They were, 2 of the 3 were go to the same church I did. And so I'm like, just take him to the yard sale. I don't even want to look at him. You know, out of sight, out of mind. Yeah, oh boy. Yeah. Several thousand movies. Ouch. Under 1,500 LPs. You know, I don't really know how many albums I've got now. I'm probably still going to say about 500. I think I got 500 albums. But eventually I have a sneaky feeling I'm probably going to at least reduce it down to maybe 200. Maybe about 200. 200 sounds like a good number. Okay, so in trade today, or added to the money that I got. So, yeah, see, even Greg's like going, oops, Greg's going like that. I'm going to that multi-state yard. Oh boy. Oh wow, I bet that would be fun. All right, so on A&M Records, Nils Lofgren, can't talk, Cry Tough. That's right, Cry Tough. Here's the front, here's the back. You know, I have never, ever, this is in nice condition, I never listened to any of his solo stuff. But so, who's on here by chance? Okay, so Jim Gordon, drummer extraordinaire. Yes, that Jim Gordon, unfortunately. Derek and the Dominoes and session drummer. You got Al Cooper on keyboards. Let's see, who else? Oh, here we go. On background vocals, P.P. Arnold and Buddy Miles on some tracks here. Worrell Jones, which if I remember correctly, was it Worrell Jones and P-Funk, or am I wrong on that? Somebody let me know in the comments. Ainsley Dunbar, Ralph Molina and Billy Talbot from Crazy Horse, and not to be confused with Crazy Horses, the Osmond Brothers song. Oh, aren't you telling the truth? You are not kidding. If he had a hammer. That's right, he did go, didn't he? You know, I'm going to tell you something. This is a true story told to me secondhand by the person that lived it. So I can say this now that Jim's dead, and this story is a couple decades old. Okay, I want to say early 90s for this. So I had a friend of mine that actually worked in the mental ward that Jim Gordon was in. Seriously. Yep.
Hello, Grateful Dogs.
Yeah. So the thing is, you know, who should be Pearl Sirhan. He didn't kill RFK. Yeah, I heard about that. could be interesting. So Jim Gordon, after he got, I think it was in 83. Was it 83? I think he killed his mom because of the voices. And I heard he almost didn't do it, actually, but they just were too much. And he finally went and did it. And, sorry. Oh, my girlfriend's sending me something. Ah, dang it. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, Jim Gordon. So, yeah, after 83, they said, meaning the people that wrote articles and stuff, that Jim Gordon never touched the drums again. Well, I can tell you for a fact that that wasn't 100% true. There was a talent show in this mental ward in the early 90s. He was persuaded to play drums in a band that was going to be assembled by some of the inmates in the mental ward. So, if I remember correctly, I think it was 2 or 3 songs. But he did it. So he did play drums at least one more time after he was incarcerated. There you go. And like I said, I can't tell you who it was, and I can't tell you where it was, but she was there. She's a friend of mine, and I trust her implicitly. So, you know, she did that stuff for a few years, actually, before coming out east. So there you go. You learn. You never know what you're going to learn on the Psychoplatter Show. I'm sorry here. Hang on a minute. There's a lot of people on this thing, though. This could be kind of interesting here. Anybody else I haven't brought up yet? Yeah, but Gordon's on about, looks like 3 tracks. 3 tracks on here. And Al Cooper's all over this thing. But yeah, so, and okay, I'm going to be an idiot here. Who's Paul Stallworth? Paul Stallworth was here courtesy of Dark Horse Records, George Harrison's record company. So,
hello, Christopher.
so yeah. So, Nils Lofgren, Cry Tough. Can't wait to listen to that. Next one is a little odd. Elliot Murphy's Night Lights. This is gold stamp promo per se on RCA. Your tan label, if you remember the tan label. I don't think the tan label was on very long. This is a gatefold here. 1976 for this. I'm trying to remember what for Nils Lofgren when 1978 for Nils. So Elliot Murphy here, and that name sounds familiar, but for the life of me, can anybody elaborate? Who did he come out from a band? Elliot Murphy, I cannot remember. So who do we have on this thing? How about I go and tell you? Let's see. So Andy Paley. Andy Paley was in. Wasn't it the Paley brothers? They were sort of big in the 70s. And then he does a song called Deco Dance, and who plays piano on it? Billy Joel. Billy Joel, yeah, 1976 Billy Joel on here. Ralph Schuckett, who of course was in. He was in Utopia. All right, he was in Utopia. Doug Yule singing. And of course, he was a latter-day member of the Velvet Underground. You have on horns Lou Marini and Michael Brecker and Tom Malone. Now, Lou Marini and Tom Malone, of course, would end up in the Blues Brothers band, and Michael Brecker was part of the Brecker Brothers. Let's see, anybody else out of unusual here? Oh, for one song, he's got Mr. Harder's West Court School fourth graders on the chorus. How about that? Steve Katz, if I remember correctly, from Steve Katz. Blues Image? No, or am I confusing myself? It's either Blues Image or Blood, Sweat, Tears, Steve Katz. And then, but yeah, so how about them apples? Kind of, or in this case, Nightlights. I think that's kind of interesting in its own way. Oh, good. That's right. Thank you. The Attitude. Very, very good, Mike. Very, very good. You get bonus points on that. That's right, Bones Malone. And thank you, Blood, Sweat, and Tears. Thank you there. But yeah, so the Attitudes. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Didn't the Attitudes cut an album or at least a 45 or two? I'm not sure. Okay, this next one. Now these two here, buck a piece. Couldn't really screw this up. Now, unfortunately, I really wish the condition on the cover was better. Okay, it's. I'm not gonna lie. The whole top is 100% split. Okay, your bottom's pretty good. Your side is yeah. So, but why did I get it? Because the vinyl was pretty decent. Annette sings Anka. Yeah, that's right. You know, I do not have any Annette albums. I've got 45s, which of course, one of my favorites is Tall Paul. Yeah, but here's the front, and here's the back. Okie dokie. Now, I'll show you the inner sleeve, because I thought the inner sleeve was kind of neat, too. I'm not going to read it to you, but this is how Annette and Paul got together. All right. So you got that. And here's a little thing here. Annette says, "We all liked Paul." Annette added, "Because he was so happy-go-lucky. If you're around him, you can't help but feel good. Paul would play the piano and I would sing. He helped teach me the songs I was going to sing in the album." So at the recording of this, Annette's 17 and Paul is 18. Greg, have yourself a good night. Thanks for sticking around. I appreciate it. So this one here on Buena Vista Records. But the vinyl is really not that bad. It's just, unfortunately, the cover, which really is depressing because, like I said, this is actually the first album that the vinyl was decent. Because when I've only ever come across Annette LPs maybe 3 or 4 times in the last decade. One of them was Beach Party. I remember that, and they were all stomped to holy hell, and I'm just like, you know, was not worth saving. Yes. Oh my. Okay. Okay, but yeah. Is it this one? Oh, okay. Thank you. I'm sorry. 2 albums, 5 singles. Thank you. I wonder if George Harrison's on any of those. I'm gonna have to look it up. Sorry, I'm a little behind. This one here, this last one. The vinyl could be a little better. But this is the first time that I have come across, no, excuse me, second time I've come across this LP. But the last time I came across it was, it was god-awful. There was tape all over the cover. It looked like an elephant stomped on it. But from 1959 on Roulette, Ronnie Hawkins. Oh, yes. Yes. Now, I'm not entirely sure here. Of course, it says Ronnie and the Hawks. All right. Oh, geez. I want to say that I think Levon's on here and maybe Rick Danko from the band, and then there's other people. So, very nice. I've got maybe about a 25% split on the top. The vinyl is pretty decent mostly. And he was born and raised in Huntsville, Arkansas, and then ended up congregating to Fayetteville, Arkansas, home of the University of Arkansas.
Good evening, John. How are you?
Oh, good to know. You know, that's one thing I do want to eventually do for you guys. I want to take maybe I'll do some special videos. The solo Beatles as session musicians. I would really like to. I don't think people really touch that topic very much. Okay, and I do have a handful of things. There was this one that George was on. I couldn't believe I came across it because in all the years that I've been through record stores and resale shops, never came across a copy. And I'm not going to tell you what it is either, but it's from the 70s. And I was just like, wow, you know, that excellent. Well, that is good news that he's on Good News. But, oh, good. Okay, title track. So, yeah, that was pretty much it for the vinyl anyway. So, I'm going to be wrapping this up pretty soon, but I want to give you a little concert story. No, I didn't go to this concert, but this goes back to last Friday. All right? So, we had Loverboy and Foreigner coming here to play the local amphitheater, about 10 minutes away from here. So the weather, unfortunately, was not going to be very cooperative, it appears. This happens sometimes in that venue, although 50% of it is, okay, maybe a third of it's covered. Okay, the seats are covered. Your lawn is not. And so you tell me if you'd be a little pissed about this. And I'm glad I didn't win tickets, okay, because I would have been pissed. Now, saying that, it was near 100 degrees, okay, so very, very hot. But National Weather Service out of Tulsa was going off, and they were going to say there was going to be severe thunderstorms coming through. So the people that were in line waiting to get into the venue of the amp, so the amp drops a Facebook post, and it said, due to National Weather Service Tulsa declaring that the weather is going to be really rocky for tonight's show,
it's okay, George. Good evening, and I forgive you.
See what I did there? Hi, George. Anyways, so they went off and said on the post, due to the weather being the way it's going to be, Loverboy will not be playing tonight. I'm like, what? So Loverboy didn't play. That pissed me off right there, because I was only going to see Loverboy. All right? Foreigner is a tribute band. I don't even know if Mick Jones has been on this tour. Some people say that he showed up at select dates. Some people said he only performed the encores. I don't know, okay? And neither did most people, because what happened next was they said, all right, concert's going to start 7:30 p.m. Foreigner will come on. That's what they said on social media. So I had a friend of mine that went to this, by the way. 7:30, supposed to start. They didn't end up getting on stage till about a little after, I think it was like minutes to 8. Okay? They played 6 songs. 6. and then the weather went, and that was it. Show over. Now, mind you, these tickets are not cheap. So, in other words, whoever paid for those tickets only got 6 songs from Foreigner, or Foreigner Light, or Faux Foreigner in this case. There was a lot of people after that show on social media that were pissed. I don't blame them. I'd be one of them if I was. And most of them were requesting or demanding partial refunds. And I'm just like, and the amp has been, they've been on all of it. And I'm going, really? That's not cool. Okay? That's not cool. You don't have your opener playing and the headliner only plays 6 songs. That is not even half a show. Yeah. Yes, okay, I agree with you. But you know what? When I saw him in 2005, even though, yes, it was still almost the same lineup you got here, at least that Vic Jones was there for everything, and we had Jason Bonham on drums. If we had Lou Graham, that would have been extra special. Oh, dear God. Really?
Attention shoppers, before you go, don't forget to buy something at Burglars. No need to stampede, there is enough Craftsman tools and hot dogs for everyone. Thank you.
Yeah, John. I'm telling you, I don't know. Has anything like that happened to you guys, the 10 people that are here right now? Has that ever happened to you that you've gone to an outdoor concert or even an indoor concert? And there's some weird act of God, or they call them act of God, but like some weird scenario where the bands have to cut it short, or there's maybe a little riot, or something like that. I told you guys a couple months back about when the Apollo Theater and there was a F1 tornado, they designated it, although everybody's keeping hush-hush on this crap back then. I don't know why. And people that were in front of the stage got hit. One died. The rest were injured, and some were not injured. All right, listen, you take care. Where's the young man? Where? I don't remember seeing one. Thank you. Yeah, see, exactly. And here, another good guy here. Great channel. Go like and sub George. He's great. So, I got a friend of mine borrowing the Genuine Imitation Life cassette because they wanted to listen to it. And I'm like, here. I said, you will be pleasantly surprised. And I've got in my listening queue, whenever I can get to it, I've got Chameleon. I'm going to play that again because it's been a few years. Weirdest thing that ever happened to me was going to the Allman Brothers concert, expecting to see Dickie Betts and Zakk Wylde comes out whooping solos. Wow, what the hell? It would have been weird. Very weird. You're welcome. Speaking of this for a second, because you mentioned Zakk Wylde, has anybody out here gone to see Pantera, the new version, with Phil and Rex and Zakk and Charlie Baton? Let me know in the comments. I heard they've been doing a real good job, so that's great, honestly. Oh, no shit. See, wow. Do you roughly remember when that was? Because didn't Dickie get booted out about 2001, 2002? Am I right? Hitting the note. Was that the last album Dickie was on with the Almonds? I could be wrong on that. but something tells me that that's the last album, studio album he was on with them. And I thought I even heard that he was fired via fax. I'm like, really, guys? That almost sounds like it's not the first one to get fired by fax, because that's how Peter Criss got fired one time from Kiss. Seriously, like when he came back, you know, what was it, late 95 to 2001. And then I don't know if he was fired by a fax from that one, or it was after the Kiss Aerosmith tour. Something tells me it was after that tour, was when he got fired by fax from Gene, that basically said, we no longer need your services. 93, oh, nice, okay, I'm glad you told me that, thank you. 93. I told you guys my Allman Brothers story, which unfortunately is not much of a story. Allman Brothers came, oh God, when was it? I gotta think about this. 2011, maybe? I don't know if I'm getting that right. It was either 2009 or 2011, I think. And they came down to Fayetteville, Arkansas, to play the Barnhill Arena. And me and my son John, who he knew about, like Midnight Rider and, Memory of Jessica Reed, was in a video game. That's how he managed to like him. Wow, that is right, almost 30 years. So it was one of those ones where there was no chairs. Well, John tripped on a cable, a taped cable, jammed his thumb. We would have had right in front of Greg Allman. I'm not kidding you on this. And I'm like, I tried to put ice. I got the concession people to give me a bag of ice, and it wasn't helping any. And I'm just like, I told my son, I said, okay, Elizabeth Reed, thank you, sorry. I've been thinking of my late wife all day, on and off. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry about that, but that's why I confused myself. So the thing is that I ended up taking my son. I was getting ready to take him to the ER, and but I told him, I said, we got to do one thing before we do that. He goes, what? And I go, and I went to the merch booth with him. I go, 2 T-shirts, please. So for a long time, I had an Allman Brothers shirt from the tour, just to say I was there. You know what I'm saying? I love the Allmans. I really do. But, so that was my, that close. I kind of give him shit for it, but I mean, he's a kid. He was excited. I mean, you know, but I always, you know, when the Allman Brothers would come on the radio, I'm like, I remember how I almost got to see the, and then I chuckle at him because he knew. Nice. Very, very nice. So, see, in my life, I've had woulda, shoulda, couldas. Almost saw Elvis in '77. Zeppelin, had tickets. Chicago Stadium, November 1980. You know what happened. Allman Brothers. See, that's 3 of them right there. Oh well. All right, ladies and gentlemen. You know what? I really love you guys. I really do, too. I'm serious. You guys are my therapy, and my weekly therapy, if you will. So let's see. Some commercials very quickly before I depart. Guys, I'm going to ask nicely, because I always try to ask nicely. I'm 3 dozen subs away from 1,000. If you have not liked and subbed this channel, would you please do so, please? Tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell your frenemies about Psychos Players, because to me, I just want that 1,000 subs, okay? After that, I won't say anything else about sub counts, okay? Because to me, I've been doing this for 12 years, And I'd like to be able to just in myself go off and go, hey, I got 1,000. That's nice. Because I know we're a niche market, okay? We're not like these gamer channels that can get hundreds of thousands or even, 1 million subscribers or views. And I'm certainly not Mr. Beast. You know who I'm talking about. And I'm not the VC version of Mr. Beast. I'm still trying to figure out, if I remember correctly, I think, isn't our most subscriber VC channel, isn't it Derek, Mr. Hall of Fame? I could be wrong on that, but I could have sworn, but he's been around since like the week YouTube came out. And I think he's got 20-something million subscribers. Like, the guy, or not million, I'm sorry. I'm such a moron. 20 or 25,000 subscribers. That's more like it. But he deserves it. He's been doing that since YouTube was just about born. And then I know Joe Mayo's got like about 13 and a half thousand subs. They all deserve that. They're great channels. Oh, okay. So you saw Molly Hatchet. Let me think about this a minute. Beating the Odds tour with Jimmy Farrar. Not Danny Joe Brown, unfortunately, but still, you ended up with, let me think about this a minute, most of the original Hatchet. I think Danny Joe might have been the only non-member that wasn't there. 93 was 19 and seeing shows on tour for the next 5 years straight. Damn.
Hello, Dwayne.
You know what? That's pretty cool that you're able to. Okay. So I'm gonna stretch, but you're pretty good at dates, it seems like. Okay. Do you remember when in the 90s? Because if you saw them in 93, 94, so for about a year, okay, you would have had, you would have had Danny Joe Brown, John Galvin on keys, who was there since 84, The Deed Is Done, that album, okay? Jackass Bobby Ingram, who's been there since 1987, who was in the Danny Joe Brown band when Danny was solo. He comes in 87 because Dave Hulbeck, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, was so heavy into drug use, that's why he left. So his first album is a very rare, and I'm looking for it on Capitol, by the way, Lightning Strikes Twice. I had it on CD. It's an okay CD. But you also get, for that year, you get Banner Thomas, the original bass player, comes back. So for 93, 94, you get 2 original members, but Banner, while he was alive, wouldn't talk about it. He didn't want to deal with it. I saw Hatchet once in 2002, but I knew what I was walking into, okay, being that John Galvin was he was not an original, but he was like classic era, because classic era would be 78 to 90, okay? 90 would be the cutoff. Bobby Ingram doesn't count in this one, okay? I actually had a very brief messenger conversation, a couple different conversations with Bruce Crump, the drummer. Very nice guy. I was getting ready to get some stuff signed by him. The only Molly Hatchet autograph I've got is on the album No Guts, No Glory from 1983, which is the only album that does not have an awesome painting. It is set in the Old West. They're all wearing Western clothes. And the drummer B.B. Borden from Mother's Finest was only on that album, and then Bruce came back. So I have a B.B. Borden signed. Okay, cool. B.B. Borden signed album. Yes, please and thank you. Like I said, if you saw him in 1993, 94, that was the lineup you saw. And then Banner Thomas got pissed for multiple reasons, and one of them was actually they were getting ready to record. Oh boy, let me see if I can get this right. The album that came out in '96, they couldn't even get an American contract. They had to get a German one, and in a way, Silent Reign of Heroes, I think that was the name of it. Either that or Devil's Canyon. It was one or the other that came out in '96 on SPV Steamhammer out of Germany. Okay, and the story goes that Danny was getting ready to record. He did write some of the songs, but he was then, some say he was too ill, some say he was pushed out in '95, okay, because of the diabetes. But they were pushing him out, or Bobby Ingram was pushing him out, if you will, and that's how you get Phil McCormick to come in, and that's his first CD. But Banner supposedly co-wrote a song and was not credited, and that's why he's like, "Fuck Molly Hatchet." That was Banner's words. See, and Government Mule. Oh man, I regret not getting to see Government Mule. I think they're still around, but it's the two of the three, of course. But Alan Woody, right? Am I right on this? Alan Woody was the bass player. Yeah, and I had a chance once to see that classic original lineup, and that would have been awesome at the Rockford Metro Center, if I remember correctly. And unfortunately, I didn't get to see that. So, regrets. Actually, when it comes to concerts, I got lots of regrets. I do. What was it? Who in '82? Even though I would have rather wanted to see them, in the '70s. But the Who in '82 was one of them. The Grateful Dead in the same year, in '82. I can remember those right off the bat. I'm just like, shit. And then I remember when the Who got back together for the Join Together tour in '89. I think that's what it was called because of the box set. And I think Zach was on drums, I think, by then. Or was it Simon Phillips? I can't remember right now. And the thing is that Alpine Valley was where they were going to do the show, and the tickets went like that. I couldn't even get tickets to the Who in '89. Whatever, I know a buddy of mine is like a mega Who fan. Proghat Edward is a mega Who fan also. And I don't know if he's going to go get that big box set. I heard somebody said that there's going to be a box set on Lifehouse, which I'm like, if you Who fans know, of course, Lifehouse was the original start to a project from Townsend that some of that stuff ended up on Who's Next, which is one of the few perfect albums, in my opinion. For it to be a perfect album, you don't get up and you move that record to another track. It's like a perfect album, all the tracks on it. So Who's Next is one of those few that are, in my opinion, a perfect album. I think Zeppelin 1 and 2 are also perfect albums. The Beatles' Sgt. Pepper is a perfect album. The Monkees come very close with Pisces, Aquarius, Capricorn, and Jones. But I do like Headquarters, and Headquarters could be a perfect album. You're right, Proghat Edward, I got, like I said before, George, in this forum, I have got so many subscriptions to people on YouTube that even though I'll ding the bell, I don't always get them. And so it's like I've missed a few things. Like, for example, I was in the Peanut Gallery at Dusty Spins last night. So you saw Hatchet in '87. Okay, so, all right, let me think about this a minute. This is how nerdy I am about Hatchet. That's okay. Yeah, that's fine. So yeah, okay. So it would have been Danny Joe Brown, Bobby Ingram, John Galvin. Oh boy, let me think. Dwayne Rowland, Riff West, who would end up in Foghat later, but Riff West and Bruce Crump. So you saw him with, okay, so Danny and Dwayne and Bruce. So you saw three original members and another classic lineup member. So I mean, you did good. I mean, I would have loved that. That first album kicks ass. Now, Paper Money is okay, but still, Montrose, oh yeah. Montrose definitely is a good album. There's a guy for you that, if you think about it, he got success and shot himself in the foot. Ronnie Montrose, okay? And it's just, I don't get it. And if I remember correctly, Ronnie Montrose, didn't he get his start? Oh, jeez. Was it Van Morrison in the early 70s? Wasn't he on Moondance? And if I remember correctly, or maybe I'm confusing myself, didn't he work with Edgar Winter too? I could be wrong on that. Maybe I'm thinking of Dan Hartman. But yeah, I think Ronnie Montrose, was with Van Morrison in the early 70s. If it wasn't Moondance, maybe it was St. Dominic's Preview. I can't quite remember. Yeah, see, that would have been a great show. And of course, we'll throw out there, there's a documentary. I don't know if it's finished yet or they're working on it. 50th anniversary of Watkins Glen from 1973. The band, the Almonds, and the Grateful Dead. Imagine being at Watkins Glen. I mean, that concert had to be what, 10, 12 hours long? Nothing wrong with that back then, but boy, oh boy. Yes, thank you, Woody and Haynes, that's right. What a lineup. But what a lineup for Watkins Glen. I mean, I love all three of those bands. If I was maybe, go back in time and I'm a younger self, you betcha I would have been at Watkins Glen. Wasn't it like, I think, 400 or 500,000 people were at Watkins Glen? I'm like, jeez. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. See, the wheels need some grease. But yeah, it's like, and so then he breaks up Montrose and then starts the Gamma thing, which I'm going to admit I haven't heard any of the Gamma material. But for Montrose, I mean, let's face it, most of the Sammy Hagar era Montrose, they jumped to Sammy. Let's see, Bill Church, Alan Fitzgerald, who of course would go to Night Ranger, and Denny Carmisi, which of course he'd go to Heart in the 80s. But, good, thank you. What a great album. What a great album that one is. And Edgar touring with the Ringo Starr All-Star Band currently. I would love to see that. I would love to see Edgar. I came this close to seeing Johnny. Oh, I was pissed off. I was real pissed off. It was going to be here in Rogers, by the way. Johnny Winter. The date was set. They were selling tickets, and they only lasted 3 days, and they yanked it. It was the last two concerts of the season. Johnny Winter and the Kate Brothers, okay? Kate Brothers are legendary here. They had a couple albums for Asylum Records in the mid-70s, but they're Fayetteville's very own. They were on Asylum and Atlantic before. See, and we could thank across the street the The nursery people bitched because it's like, and the thing is that they stopped the concerts by 10, 10:30. Seriously, they stopped the concerts by 10, 10:30 at night. So, you know what? I'm sorry. I have no sympathy for that guy. They see one guy, I think they put out, 4 or 5 Gamma records. And to top that off, Ronnie Montrose ended up doing a soundtrack for a Dreamcast game, a Sega Dreamcast game, which I think's neat, but yet funny at the same time. And, but he ended up doing like the soundtrack for that. And then, I don't know why I'm thinking about this, but for some reason, I want to say like Ronnie's one of his last recorded things had to do with Tommy Shaw. I could have sworn I thought Tommy Shaw, like Shaw and Montrose maybe did something. I could have that wrong too, but that's what popped into my head. Maybe for Shaw Blades, I'm not sure, because Shaw Blades did a couple albums. But yeah, so Johnny Winter, that close to seeing him. And you know what was funny is that little outdoor thing that they do. The bands, there was 2-3 long tables, and the bands would come out and do the autographs and meet and greets after every show. I mean, the only time I got to see it was Little River Band, which of course is not really Little River Band. It's Wayne Nelson and a bunch of other people. Wayne Nelson being a member since 1980. But still, that's for another conversation. But yeah, I mean, they had, let's see, there was a Harley place. They had Great White. I think Jack Russell is still with them. Or maybe it was Terry Illis from, was singing, I think, at the time. So Great White, Jackal played there. Little River Band played there. Black Oak, I got to see Black Oak, Arkansas play there. It was the only time I got to see him. I met Jim Dandy and Ricky Lee Reynolds from classic Black Oak. New album coming from Black Oak called Devil's Jukebox. I'm like, wonder where they got that from. Oh, nice. Oh, yes, I love Leon. That would have been fantastic. Oh, I'll tell you. All right, we're almost hitting 8 o'clock my time, and I got some things I got to do, and then I gotta kind of have to get up early in the morning. So I'm gonna leave you guys, but I want you guys to have. I love you guys, I really do, and I want you guys to have a good rest of the week. Have a good weekend. Try to be cool. Stay cool. Okay, and we're going to be all right with this. Somehow we'll get through this, and just kindly keep me in your prayers, please, with the knee thing, and my girlfriend Carol, keep her in your prayers too, because I have a sneaky feeling she's going to need a surgery pretty soon. I'm not sure how soon, but pretty close. So I love you guys. You guys take care. Rock on. Always powered my coffee each and every time. Boy, that's so right, Mr. Bullhorn. So right. You guys are good sports. You really, really are. You guys take care. And if you guys want to email me, of course, go take a look at my web address for Psycho's Platters, but it is all in small case letters, psyko_DJ@yahoo.com. I try to check my emails at least once a week. Sorry, guys, that it's not sooner, but I get busy. So, yeah, boy. Yes, 9. All right. Everybody take care. God bless.